Hey everybody, welcome back to That Flight Sim channel. My name is Captain Flacco, and in today's video we are going to be exploring the autopilot system and an ILS approach in the awesome Blacksquare Duke, Turbine Duke, that is, the Blacksquare Turbine Duke. So without further ado, let's jump right in the cockpit and let's get started. Alright guys, we are in Orlando International. As my previous tutorial we did in the TBM 850, we did it here. So we're just gonna go through the basics of the autopilot, how to get you know, hands off the controls, check out the scenery, and then also to do an ILS approach. So we're gonna be doing a quick hop from here from Orlando to Kissimmee, which is real close down the street, like I like to say. And yeah, we'll be able to check it out. So here we go. So first off, let's just get our plane situated here for takeoff. We already got our lights. The plane's pretty much ready to go. There's only a couple things that I would like to change. As you can see here in our annunciator panel, we have our left engine ignition still on and our right engine ignition still on. Our oil doors are closed. So we're gonna get those open and get our ignitions as well on to off over here. It's part of our checklist. So they're set to auto right now, so we're just gonna go to off so we can get those annunciator lights off. And then we're gonna open our oil doors, which are right here on the left hand side. So oil doors open, and we're gonna do our ice deflector, which in other words, these are inertial separators. Yeah, so all right, we got those on. Left pitot heat is off and right pitot heat is off. I mean, we're in Florida, but we're gonna turn them on just in case. I want that panel nice and clear. So the pitots are here. Pitot heat on. Here we go. There we go. Everything's in the green. Doors are open. Perfect. All right. So, you know me. I like my shortcuts. So Control Shift 1 brings you here to your panels and your 6-pack or 9-pack in this case here. But anyways, this is nice to know. It's gonna come in handy later. Control Shift 3 brings you over here to your 750 GPS and stuff like that. So we're gonna go through real quick. We're gonna set up a quick flight plan. We already got our origination, which is Orlando International. We're gonna go to Kissimmee, KISM. Already perfect, done. And then we're gonna set up our procedure for our approach into Kissimmee. I want to do ILS 15. So there's the waypoints. Beautiful. We're gonna load and activate the approach. Perfect. So it wants us to go to waypoint WERPO. We'll take a look at the map here in a sec. But also, let's just go back. Let's go to our charts. Airport charts. Beautiful approaches. Select the approach. ILS 15. And there is our approach plate. So let's take a look. We can zoom in here. Boom, 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 boom. All right, this is important, guys. Our final approach course is going to be 153. Our frequency is going to be 109.75. So, good thing about the 750, as you can see, it's already here in our standby, 109.75, since we loaded and activated that approach. And our course is 153. So remember that. 1,200 feet at Watsy. So let's take a look down here. WERPO, Watsy, beautiful. Zoom out one bit. There we go. Okay, so pretty much, oh, I clicked the wrong thing, sorry. Okay, pretty much 2,000 feet at WERPO. We should be at our course of 153. Then we're gonna descend to 120, sorry, at Watsy. And at Watsy, if everything is looking right, it should pick up the glide slope and bring us in right into Kissimmee. All right, so first off, I'm gonna set my heading bug, which is this one here to the right. I'm gonna set it to north, just what we're facing right now. This is runway 360. So because as soon as I take off, I want the plane to fly straight and just get to the altitude that I want it to go. So we're gonna set that. Beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna change this to GPS. Make sure this is on GPS. Okay, and then I'm gonna set my altitude to 4,000 feet on initial takeoff. So let's go ahead and set this to 4,000 feet. Perfect. Okay, that's pretty much it. We're ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and release the brakes, hold brakes here, bring the power up, and let's get airborne. Here we go. Waiting for that torque to come up. And go. Alright, a little left rudder here to keep us center line somewhat. Alright, airspeed is aligned. This plane's going to climb really fast. Here we go. And rotate. Alright, we got positive rate of climb. We're going to go gear up. We're going to go flaps up. And let's get to at least 1,000 feet before I turn this autopilot on. Guys, look at the angle I am climbing in, and the speed is just still increasing. Alright, we're over 1,000 feet. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the autopilot. So we're going to press the Z key, the Zulu key. Autopilot's on, as you can see in the front there. Letting go of the controls. Alright, and there she goes. So it's in heading mode as we know right here, heading mode. Let's just control shift 1 here so we get a closer look. So it's in heading mode and it's in attitude mode. So this is very important, guys. If you go to altitude mode, it's just to hold the altitude. If you want to climb, you got to be in the attitude hold mode. Now, you're going to be like, Flaco, how do I adjust the rate of climb? All right, there we go. We got our warning that we're about 1,000 feet from 4,000 feet. Beautiful. So to adjust the climb, you're going to take a look down here. And I'm going to show you another trick too. But you adjust via this pitch control here. Okay? So if you want to increase the climb, you go up. If you want to decrease, you go down. It's kind of like your vertical speed, but it's called pitch control in this aircraft. Okay? So it looks like we're at 4,000 feet. Perfect. I'm going to bring the power down because this plane is just going to keep increasing the speed. We don't want to exceed that 200. We just want to stay nice in the green. Keep it perfect there. All right. So we're at the 4,000 feet. We're just going to do a few basic maneuvers as we usually do. So we're in heading mode. Let's say I want to turn left to 270. So control shift 1. We're going to come up and close and personal. And we're going to go to 270 here. And as you can see, it's already turning left. And we're going to put that green arrow right there at 270. Maybe one more click. There we go. All right. There you go. $270. Fairly easy, fairly basic. Click back here. Let's check out our map. All right, 270. We're just gonna make a right to 360 so you can see it work the other way. So 360, here we go. And boom, couple clicks maybe. There we go. I think that's good there. Okay, so back to 360. All right, now once we get to the facing north, we're going to do a couple altitude changes, and then we're going to make our way to Kissimmee. All right, looking good. Man, the panel lighting in this plane is beautiful. All right, so we are facing north. Perfect. All right, so let's say, Flaco, let's go to 6,000 feet. All right, no problem. So we're going to control shift 1. You know me and my shortcuts. So 4,000, let's go to 6,500 just so you can see how this moves around. But all right, so you click a couple times, 6,000, and then if you push it, it'll change it by the hundreds, 6,500. Okay, now notice that nothing is happening because we are in the altitude hold mode. If we want to increase our altitude, we got to switch over to attitude. Boom, attitude, and remember what I said down here, pitch up. Here we go, pitch up. And there is the plane pitching up. Now, there is a little hidden trick here. If you move your mouse slightly to the right of the altitude set, there's your pitch control. It's a little tricky because this thing kind of gets in the way, and you gotta like find the way. But remember, if you go up, it's really pitched down. So you just do it from down here. You really want to go down so you can pitch up. And there she goes. pitching up. I want to climb faster. We're going to pitch more up. There you go. Now let's increase our power. And look how she's climbing now. Alright, I'm going to bring this down to 5,500. If I can get it to click. Okay, there we go. We're going to hold at 5,500. And then you see the plane adjusting. It knows it's at 5,700, so it's going to come down to 5,500. Nice and easy. Bring the power down a little bit. And while it comes down to 5,500, I'm going to make a left-hand turn to 270, just so we don't get too far away from course. Alright, 270. Here we go. Beautiful evening out here in Central Florida. I do have the live weather on. It was a fairly nice day today. Beautiful. Alright, so now let's go back down to, actually, yeah, I guess 4,000 is fine. So let's click here, 4,000. Remember, push in for the 100s. 4,001. Come on. Oh, sorry. A little tricky. My shortcut. Here we go. 4,000 feet. Alright, so we're going to go back to attitude mode. Okay, and then remember, now we want to pitch down. So we can do it from here. Pitch down. A few clicks. And she's pitching down. Alright, let's bring our power down so we don't exceed our speed as we are decreasing our altitude. Alright, so now that we're making our way down to 4,000 feet, let's take a look at our GPS here. So, remember, we want to go to, let's go back, flight plan. We want to get to Warpo. And at Warpo, we want to be at 2,000 feet. And let's just double check our chart. Remember our chart, approaches Warpo. Alright, so from here, if you take a look at your map, we have no direction towards Warpo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and we're going to go direct to this button right here on our GTN 650. So direct to, we can do it here as well, but I kind of like leaving the map. Kind of works together. So I'm going to go direct to on our 650. Select waypoint, WER, and as you can see, it already fills it in. Warpo, boom, and we're going to activate it and watch the top. Boom. Now, it's not doing anything because we're still in heading mode. Let's select nav. And there she goes. We are on our way to Warpo. Alright, so as we make our left-hand turn towards Warpo, let's take a look again at our chart. We want to be at 2,000 feet when we get to Warpo. And it looks like we are about 13.4 nautical miles from Warpo. So I'm going to start a slow descent towards Warpo. Alright, so 2,000 feet, as it's stated there. 2,000 feet. We're going to change this to attitude mode again. And we're going to pitch down on a slow descent to Warpo. Beautiful. Okay, now while we do that, remember when we were looking at our chart, we got to have a specific course. And it looks like if we move up here, it's 153. It also says it up here, final approach course 153. So let's go look at Control Shift 1, and this is where you set your course. So 153, let's put the arrow on 153. We're not too far off. So there's 15 and 1, 2, 3. There we go, 153. So our course is set to 153, and remember, our frequency is supposed to be 109.75. So I'm going to go ahead, as we're making our way that way, I'm going to go ahead and switch the nav to 109.75. Perfect. And now we just sit here and make our way towards the airport. Just going to give it a little power. We're at 3,200 feet. I don't need to take a look at the chart. I already know I need to be at 2,000 feet, and then after 2,000 feet, our next waypoint is Wadsey at 1,200 feet. So then we'll change it to 1,200 once we get there. So let's go back. Let's open our map. Perfect. All right. There's our alert that we're 1,000 feet away from our set altitude. We're at 3,000 and coming down to 2,000. Clear that. One thing as we make our way to Kissimmee, one thing I do recommend, guys, is getting your Navigraph subscription, getting all your charts and stuff like that, because once it works, well, I mean, once that you have it all set up, it works so well all together. You don't have to have all these different windows and stuff. Like, it's all here, guys. It's all here. The charts, the flight plan, procedures. I mean, everything works in unison, and you don't have to do a lot of crazy stuff, you know, just to get your information. Yes, you can open your Navigraph from up here. You get a bigger chart. It's up to you. I personally like seeing it here in the GPS. It doesn't bother me at all. But yeah, I do recommend that, guys. You don't have to have it, but I do recommend it, especially on these birds that you need to know the course, the frequencies and stuff like that for your ILS stuff. Definitely very, very helpful to have. All right, guys, looks like we're at 4.0 nautical miles, making our way to Kissimmee. Our next waypoint is going to be Wadsey. As we make our way down to 2,000 feet, we're at 2,200. Let's just take a look outside and check out this beautiful bird. Now, guys, if you don't know, if you press insert, it'll bring you to your drone camera, as you can see here. But if you press insert again, it brings you back to the cockpit. And then I'm going to show you another one. Press insert, then press end. And it'll bring you to this view here. And if you press A, it'll cycle through all these different views that the aircraft comes with, which is badass. And then I'm doing this movement here with my track IR. Let's check another view out. There you go. Bring the power down a little bit. There it is from the belly. I like this view. But yeah, all you gotta do is keep pressing A. All right, looks like we made it to our next, or making our way to our next waypoint, which is Wadsey. And now if you want to go back to the cockpit, just press insert on your keyboard. And there we go. All right, so as you can see, we made it to WRPO. We're on our way to Wadsey, and you can always click flight plan, control shift 3. Bring it up close and personal. Click flight plan and you'll see where we're going to. So we made it to WRPO, Wadsey. We got to go down to 1,200 feet. So let's go ahead and set our altitude at 1,200 feet. 1,200. Remember, attitude mode. Boom, and pitch down. Okay. Start bringing our power down. Get our power towards our flap speed. All right, as we make our way down, let's keep checking out these beautiful views. Again, press insert, and we're back out here. So let's check out another view. Oh yeah, look at that one. That one's nice. There you guys can see the runway at our 12 o'clock. Sick. All right, let's go back inside. Bring power down a little more. All right, so as you can see, guys, it already switched my, since we're on nav mode, it already switched my mode from GPS to VLOC. Our OBS switched to VLOC, and this is very important because on VLOC is where you're gonna get your glide slope and all that, and that's when it's gonna activate. So looks like we made it to 1,200 feet. We're about 1.9 nautical miles from Wadsey. So everything is looking good. We're gonna go flaps 1. And once I cross over to like about 1 nautical mile, I'll switch this over to approach mode. All right, switching over to approach and switching over to attitude. So approach, when you click attitude, it'll go down to glide slope. And then check this out, guys. Here, you'll see this arrow come down. Once it gets down to the center here, it's when it'll activate the glide slope, and you'll see this pitch down, and you'll see it should be right now. Boom. And there we are, gear down. Bring the power down a little bit. All right, guys, and here we go. Letting the instruments do the job. Making our way down. Let's take a look outside. There's our gear down. Let's check out another view. This is like from the top. Oh yeah, looking good. Beautiful. Let's make sure we're not stalling. All right, perfect. Let's go outside again. Looks good, guys. Looking good. Oh, look at the heat waves coming out of the exhaust, guys. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Looking good. All right, full flaps. Bring the power down. Now, I didn't do my research, and I don't know what our landing speed is, so if I mess it up, this is the part where you guys roast me in the comments. At least I want to stay above 80 knots. All right, guys, we're crossing 400 feet. All right, guys, this is good for me. I'm going to disable the autopilot, pressing the Zulu key. I got control, and let's bring this bad boy in. 2 white, 2 red, we ain't dead. 2 red, 2 white, we aight. Alright. Bring the power. Flare a little bit. And butter, reverse thrust. And look how this plane just slows down with that reverse thrust. I'm not even hitting the brakes, man. Look at that. Couple brake taps here. And we are off the runway. And back to idle. Flaps up. And there you have it, guys. Pretty basic stuff. A little tricky, but once you find where the keys or the buttons are that you got to press to get the autopilot to work, it's not too bad. It's really not too bad. It took me a couple of tries to figure everything out, but once I figured it out, it is so enjoyable to just put in an ILS approach and let it bring you in and just get a butter landing just like that. So anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this tutorial. That was just for basic autopilot and how to set up an ILS approach in the Turbine Duke. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. We'd be more than happy to help you answer them. And yeah, guys, like always, we always state, our goal is for you to be able to make these purchases and not feel intimidated with these aircraft. Just kind of jump in, follow our little tutorial series of the airplane and enjoy it, man. That's the biggest thing. I was at one point where I wasn't really enjoying these planes because I wasn't learning them, but once you learn them, it is really enjoyable, really satisfying to fly around and all that. And also, you know, take a few minutes, open, you know, if you go in your community folder, don't know if you know this, if you go in there in your contents, you'll see that they have manuals for these planes. So like, if you ever want to be like, hey, how do I start this plane, go down the checklist. It gives you the checklist. It walks you through it pretty much, tells you what switches need to be on, what needs to be off, what you're looking for, and it's pretty helpful. And once you like learn it, it's very satisfying. But anyways, guys, enough of me talking. I can talk your ear off about this stuff all night. But anyways, thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate the support. If you guys haven't already done so, please like and subscribe. It helps us out a ton. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. We'll be more than happy to help you. And if you guys have any suggestions of future content, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to record some stuff to help you guys out. All right, guys, with that being said, you guys have a great one. As always, happy flying. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.